Welcome to another episode of 5th edition Dungeons and Dragons. Tomb of Annihilation. I had to think for a second there.
For a sec there if you'd forgotten like which campaign this was. Or...
Well, I realized that I actually had the wrong internet screen up, but thankfully we had this beautiful artwork down below covering that up so you guys didn't see my oopsie. Anyway, let's do a few introductions. For some reason I've got Kashcah way off the side of the stream. I will have to, her camera is way off to the side. I'll have to fix that. Until then, let's do intros, and we'll start with Kashcah down in the bottom right there.
I can probably fix it, actually.
Oh.
I could do this a bit.
I think that means you're getting close.
Sorry. Push notifications, sorry.
No, it's fine.
It's going the wrong way. I got
because I can adjust as well.
Alright, well, there we go. I adjusted a bit.
Okay, I'll adjust the rest.
Okay.
Anyway, Kashcah.
Hi. Yeah, I'm Dungeon Master for this campaign.
Yeah, there you go.
There we go.
And
That's
then
me.
up and to the left of her is Flippy, who is an NPC. He's just a little axe-beaked bird that is adolescent now, was a baby, now is just a little bit above that. So, and next to Flippy, we have Nerevar.
That's me, and I'm playing as Tobias Salazar, Spacial Summoner, and also his idol on Arokh Ironscale.
Excuse me. And for some reason, I have Kellisto covered up. Hey, there she is.
That's okay.
Welcome back. And next to him, we have Kellisto.
I'm Kellisto of the Bear God clan, and I am a half-elf druid, and part 2 of the 2 people who like to mess around too much. Our characters are always getting us into trouble.
Speaking of the gruesome duo, is besides Kellisto is Lyssa, who is not here at this time. She may join us a little bit later on, depending on how things go. But she plays as a Lizardfolk Barbarian barbar who likes to eat things and get into trouble with Kellisto, which typically, if she is absent, Kellisto tends to play her character. And speaking of other absent members, I will also be playing Aelia, a Centaur, which you'll see in the image there on the far left, character who's no longer, she's no longer in the campaign, but her character is still around. And I, Vallen, will be playing as my primary character, Ulfgar Holderheck, a Dwarven Bard Sorcerer, multi-class. So, let's get this off the screen. Actually, I'll leave it on the screen while I do a recap at this point. Episode 71 was last time. This is not Narnia, and that is we activated another wardrobe in this pentagon-shaped room covered with cogwheels around the outside edge down in the basement of the Tomb of Annihilation. Though upon opening another wardrobe, we were thinking it would be ghouls because that was what was on the picture and what we had experienced with some of the previous ones. Instead, we were surprised by a group of will-o-wisps that hurt a lot, surprisingly. Once cleared, though, we opened the last wardrobe thinking a hag would appear. But instead, because that, of course, that was what was on the picture as well, a couple of Mezzoloths appeared, which were bug-like creatures. Let's see if I can actually find those ones. Creatures of Mezzoloth. Let's see, there we go. And I will actually.
That was so cute.
We'll cover this.
Guys.
There you go. There's
cute.
Mezzoloth. These guys here, and we thought we had the advantage with a quick web spell, but they countered with a magical darkness spell, topped with also a poison cloud. So therefore, we were blind, being poisoned, and slowly dying, and couldn't see what we were doing or how to get out of it. Thankfully, the darkness was canceled with a light spell, and the poison cloud was blown away by the winding, or what is it? Winding wind? Blinding wind?
Warding wind.
Warding wind? Yes, Warding Wind by
Close enough.
by Tobias. And we were able to finish them off. And by doing so, this unlocked the portcullis, which had previously prevented some of us from progressing. Speaking of, we have actually been to this other area before, or at least a couple of us have. Episode 72, and we're now back to where we were. Kashcah.
Yeah, so I think the plan was for you, as I recall correctly, you were going to take a rest.
Yeah.
That sounds great.
But we were discussing where to do it, if it was just in this front room here, or if it was back in here. And I was concerned about those white dwarves coming through, resetting things, and us not being able, us having to refight everything.
Yeah, we should go in the hallway then.
Okay. So Ulfgar will walk ahead down here and see if there's any danger around the corner, trying to be sneaky about it. And just for RP sake, I'll roll a stealth check just in case it's needed. I don't know if it is.
Okay.
There you go.
So yeah, you're not fairly quiet. You look around the corner and you see the same thing that you saw when you were polymorphed previously.
Okay. So there does not appear to be any sign of life there, at least not until further down. But Ulfgar will come back down the hallway, call to the others and say, "Stay at the top of the stairs and be careful because there may be other entities through the end of the hall. I'll put up my bubble at the top of the landing here, but we'll probably have to group up, and I'll probably also make it so that it's opaque and they can't see through it. Just giving you a heads up." And then he comes back around and proceeds to start doing his casting his magic circle. Is it a 10-foot circle? I think it was. Yeah, there you go. And he'll actually kind of stand there, so maybe there we go. And Aelia's coming up. Which does mean that Arokh and Timber, as before, will be left outside. Now you've got 10 minutes to decide, in game time at least, which side of the bubble you want them to be, since they can't pass through it.
So basically on the stairs or in the hall.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, hey.
We're
One on
surrounded.
each side.
Seems like a good plan.
It's 10 feet or?
It is 10 feet. 10 feet for me.
Okay, good enough.
So Callisto will take first watch. Valia will take second.
Ulfgar and Aelia will
I'm
take
sorry.
the last.
I'll just have Valia take first with me.
There we go.
Okay. All right. So during so hang on. So Valia and Callisto first watch. Ulfgar's taking second. Is that what I heard?
Ulfgar and Aelia would be taking last.
Oh, last. Okay.
And
So
Tobias,
I'm always in the middle.
Tobias is in the middle. Well, you surrounded yourself with your dragons.
So Ulfgar and Aelia, you would hear movement back around the corner in the room that you just came from during your watch. There's
Back
no activity during the prior two watches. So Callisto and Tobias and Valia all get a full rest in.
Mm-hmm. I guess Aelia would probably, try and sneak out a bit just to see if she could see what was going on and if the bars had been re-enabled.
So the bars are not down. But what? Well, I guess does she take a look as soon as she hears the noise, or?
Probably, yeah.
Okay. Then she sees dwarves dragging corpses. So like these orc corpses. You know, there's a couple of dwarves dragging corpses. Looks like they're dragging them in this direction.
Sorry, down here?
Yeah,
Or-
like that.
yeah, down there. Okay. Well, as much as she would love to probably just go kick their butts, she's also aware that that's not going to get them any closer to their goal. So she comes back and she probably just tells Ulfgar, what she saw, and he says, "Doggone it! I knew we should have burnt those bodies."
Ulfgar is convinced, I take it, that
Well, we're fighting a necromancer, and something keeps
bad
taking
stuff's gonna
bodies.
happen.
It makes sense. It's like, hey, why create waste when you can recycle? it's ultimate necromancer. Recycling. It's good.
Yeah, so I'm assuming she doesn't really stick around to see the extent of their work. Or does she?
Well, they're just dragging them out, right? I mean, that's all she saw.
That's all she saw for, like... what I'm asking is, does she stick around and look at everything they're doing? Like, wait till they're gone before she returns? Or...
As much as that question prompts me to want to have her stay now,
Sorry.
she would have just seen them taking them, and I think I was having her come back, so...
Okay. Alright. Then, yeah, you're able to finish the watch, and everybody gets a full rest in.
Yay! It's a rare thing, but it's good. Dice are back. Inspiration is back. Spells are back. Oh my gosh, all the spells.
All the spells.
All the spells.
Mm-hmm. And also with that, Ulfgar pops the bubble because he can't maintain it much longer. Oops. He can't maintain it longer than 8 hours. So
Okay.
I'll take it down in a moment. I'm just updating spell slots.
No worries.
Okay.
There's no rush.
All right. And bloop. No, not that. Save changes. There we go. So would you mind giving everybody else a redescription of what lies before us?
Of that hallway?
Mm-hmm.
Sure, of course. No bother. So there are paintings on the walls, and there's stuff on the floor. The paintings on the walls are images of rotting corpses. So these are kind of down the steps from where you're at, right? So they begin kind of like here, and they proceed, kind of like all the way along, like this hallway. So there's images of rotting corpses all the way along the walls. And the floor is littered with tarnished coins, kind of what looks like also tarnished pieces of armor. Like, it looks like they're corroded, like they've been kind of eaten away, or time has taken its toll. Broken shields, axe heads, all kinds of bits of scrap metal. So these are all over the floor down here, and it just looks like tarnish and corrosion all over the place.
So I know that Kellisto knows, and I know we both were of a flying form when we came through here before, and nothing seemed to impede our progress, but it would appear that the floor could be trapped, as there's remnants of what doesn't look so good.
Can you all see this far? Can you see to like this end, or no?
I can see 60 feet.
Yeah, I'm only at 60.
Okay.
So most of us are probably about halfway down there.
Okay. All right. So
But there's probably light emanating from down there too.
That's a
A
good
little
question.
bit.
Is there light coming from?
from the next room,
Yeah.
yeah, there is a bit. So you can see there's like the silhouette of an archway, and there's some kind of ornamentation at the top of the archway. But because the light is behind it, you can't really make out
Sorry.
what it is.
Well, should we go? Do we want to check out that solar system type thing, or do we want to just go down into the next?
I'm worried it's a trapped floor. Looks like there's lots of people have tried getting through here and didn't.
Or is it the remnants of that magnetic room several floors?
That's a good question. Is the remnants of what's all down there look like it's metal?
It does look like it's metal, yes. Corroded, tarnished metal.
Keen observation. So then, we were in our animal form, our creature forms before, without trace of metal upon us. Maybe it was because of that we weren't affected then.
True.
So, Ulfgar produces a coin. Maybe I give this a toss and see what happens.
Good idea.
He tosses it as far as he can down the hall.
Okay. So you chuck it down the hall, clank, 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 clank. It falls to the floor in amongst some other, all the other bits and bobs that are there. And there isn't like an immediate reaction. Like nothing kind of triggers. There's no like lightning or, any kind of immediate effects that you see. There's no like acid gas that pours from hidden jets or any of that crap that you've encountered in some of the other rooms. But as you're watching, as you're kind of like looking around, waiting for something to happen, your gaze returns to the coin. You can see that the coin has already got a good layer of tarnish on it.
Oh dear. That's a bit disconcerting. So, I don't know if it'll affect people, because once again we were creatures at the time. But it looks like it's aging that metal that's in there.
Well, maybe that solar system room really does kind of control something.
So we saw in the next room at the end there, Tobias and Aelia and Valia, some kind of great cloudy mass at the top and bottom, and they had lightning and some kind of conductor in there, and there were some creatures as well that came out of some kind of portal, but we just kept going because they didn't notice us at the time.
Okay, but you made it through this corridor unscathed, right?
I was in the form of a pseudo-dragon, as you saw me before. And
Kellisto?
She was the shape of a bird?
Bat? I think it was a bat.
A bat.
Yeah.
And a cat. It was also a cat.
I think through here, though, you were a bat because we flew across up to the other area.
Cat down the corridor, but not. But I was a bat across the like.
So many forms, you can't keep track. Well, Ulfgar tries. He summons his mage hand in front of him. He says, "I'm going to try bringing back some of these items down there and see what we can make of it. He reaches Mage Hand down. It can go, I think, 30 feet. So it just reaches down to the bottom of the steps, and he tries grabbing some piece of armor or coin or something like that he can to try and bring it back and
Okay.
see if he can use his smithy lore to figure out what exactly happened to these.
Do I see if those images are just paintings or they are just like fresks? Like we saw with the room with the mammoth head?
They are they're just paintings on the wall as far as you can tell. Yeah, so Ulfgar, you bring a tarnished coin back up.
And he'd like to try and inspect it and see if he can figure out what caused it to tarnish so quickly, I guess.
Okay.
Like, if it was a magical effect or if it's something that he's familiar with, just being a kind of a metal worker.
So it's not a coin you recognize, first of all. But it does just seem like it's been down here for a long, long time. Like, it's aged, you know, it has serious layer of tarnish on there.
Maybe it's not what I think. See, I was thinking it was some kind of like automatic rust machine or something. Maybe there's a rust monster down there, but maybe it's another one of those clock things. There seems to be an effect of time.
Yeah, but if you made it unscathed, even if you were in different form, do you feel older?
Maybe by a day. Since then. Says, well, we could leave our metal gear here, try proceeding on, or we could try transforming some of us and proceeding on that way. I'd hesitate to actually walk in there with any kind of metal items at this point, without knowing more. Though those images on the side, we've destroyed things like that before, and it stopped doing special effects, or at least summoning creatures. Do you think those might be the source?
Honestly, I'm not sure. I just simply don't know.
Well, I mean, not to kind of make them cannon fodder, but would it affect your dragons? Like, we could have them just carry metal
They look metal.
across?
I'm curious to know if they would be directly affected since they look metal, actually.
I mean, they would just come back, right?
I
don't know how his magic works.
While you're standing there talking, you do see in front of this entrance what looks like a really big box flies past the entrance, just kind of goes like, oh, not that, sorry. No, not turn on, not turn on. Just flies like in this direction past the entrance. It just looks like this big ass box just flies by.
Oh, it looks like those creatures might still be there. Those little flying buzzy lunchboxes.
How about maybe we could lure them in?
Lure them in here. That's not a bad idea. Did they look like they were made of metal when we saw them before?
You want to see the handout?
Oh, yes. Because if it's as cute as the last dude, then yeah.
There you go. That is what they look like.
They look metal to me.
They look pretty cute.
All right, I'll go get them.
Yeah, okay.
I'm not sure how yet. What I'm going to turn into. Something flying.
But a giant eagle.
Well, I don't want to be giant because I want to be able to move around pretty easily.
Well, it's just giant for an eagle. No, I have no idea.
I know they carry wizards and hobbit.
I'm no hobbit. Though I've got a few friends that are.
They did carry dwarves in The Hobbit, just saying.
They did. You're right. Actually, no. I thought they just fought a battle with the dwarves. Anyway, I'm getting sidetracked.
There is more of these paintings, or is just only one?
No, it's a continuous kind of painting that goes like all the way down both sides of the walls, except for right here where there is an opening.
Right. By the way, that doorway there, that leads down into a room. I don't know the details of it. I didn't go down.
I mean, that's really specific, down into a room.
Well, that's as much as I got out of her. As he looks at Callisto.
I'm gonna turn into an eagle.
Regular eagle?
Regular one, yeah.
Okay.
Caw. I believe is the standard phrase you're supposed to say.
I don't think that's an eagle sound. I don't know what they
Exactly.
mean.
Exactly.
I'm not even going to try an eagle sound. Okay, so Eagle Callisto
is going to go start flying towards I can do 60 feet at one time.
Oh, nice. Just gonna look that up. Thank you. So you're heading towards the doorway, I take it?
Correct.
She is experienced in the way of the burb.
And she's not affected, perhaps?
No, nothing happens to Callisto. As an eagle, I should specify.
Alright, I'm flying in. I'm gonna hover here a little bit for a second and see if they come by.
Okay. You do,
Right, too.
when you're kind of hovering there for a moment, you do see that actually there are more than you recall.
It's just
Sorry.
Great!
It's just a quadrant spawner hanging up in the
They
air.
keep appearing. There's more. I'm waiting for you to finish filling it in.
That's it. Every square is just full of these flying lunchboxes. Giant flying. They are big, by the way. They're like, I mean, box size, but as big as your size in a normal, when you're regular Callisto, when you're half-elf Callisto.
I guess if you compare it to the picture, they're carrying a longbow, so...
Yeah, that you do see some of them are armed with bows. They're...
Ulfgar, do you have a bag or pouch?
Let me look. I don't remember. Because he's got his backpack, which is pretty much just like packed full. He does not have an extra bag or pouch, but Aelia might. She has no such thing. She's got some rope. That's about it.
I wanted to check if this tarnishing appears if there was no direct exposure to the paintings, perhaps.
Oh, I see.
Right. That's a good question.
Did you ask that out loud?
Yeah.
Because Valia has a belt pouch. She might say, well, let me empty this out and I'll give you some. You can walk down there and try it, though.
I'm just more into using the mage hand to do this.
She, I assume it's small, but she empties it out.
We just need big pouch that is big enough to fit a couple coins.
Yeah, so she she hands you a little pouch.
Okay. And
Okay,
Ulfgar produces a couple silver, like before, because it did tarnish.
And I'm checking it down the stairs.
Okay. So you guys are doing this while Callisto flies off down the hallway.
Pretty much.
Yeah. So immediately the pouch starts deteriorating. Like, I'm just gonna say that it's leather. So the leather, like within seconds, takes on this dried, cracked appearance. And you're standing there just for a few seconds while Callisto finishes her flight down the hallway, and the leather just begins to kind of crumble, and just like is dust before Callisto hits the end of the hallway. So the leather just disintegrates and dustifies. And then the coins that were in that pouch begin to tarnish. Like, they are tarnished.
Hope you didn't want that back.
So Callisto, you see one kind of fly past, like, whee, flies past the entranceway. Are you doing anything to attract its attention? Or...
I'll make some noise and kind of like flap my wings like I'm in the archway. Apparently that I can't actually move my token that way.
Okay. So you're in the archway. So you screech at them, and this one will immediately seize you, and looks like it's gonna kind of head in your direction. This one right here.
Okay. Then I will start flying back.
Okay.
And hope it follows.
Yep. This one does have a bow with it. So just so you know.
I fly really fast.
Okay. It does not seem to be like it's trying to keep up with you, but it does not seem to be like flying as fast as you. So when it enters the hallway, so it's doing this. You see it pull out its bow, like with these long, spindly mechanical arms. Pull out its bow, draw the string back to shoot at you, and before it has managed to do that, the whole bow has disintegrated, and the arrow, clack, 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 falls to the floor and also disintegrates. And the lunchbox itself doesn't seem to be affected.
Well, interesting. I will continue flying towards everyone.
How much of this do the rest of us see?
You see some movement. You see like the shadows across the entranceway because you've got the light behind it. But I don't think you'd be able to see the bow hit the floor, or the bow disintegrate.
Okay.
But this guy is trying to keep up, right? And so he's gone like 50. So he gets there, and then as you're finishing your flight, he doesn't seem to be affected.
As soon as we're able to see it, I would like to try and attack it with my magic fire.
With your magic fire?
Fiery magic.
Well, is it within 60 feet of you? Yeah, I mean, you can... There you go. You see it.
Okay, let me just make sure. I think my spell range on it is pretty good. Yeah, 120 feet. So if I can see it, I will shoot.
Okay.
And as he's about to, he'll say, "Oh, it's hot on her tail! Quick, get it! But don't go down there." And 26. Does that hit?
26 does indeed hit.
Okay. 11 points of fiery damage. A 1 and a 10. Nice.
Okay. So, it now has a big scorch mark across it. What are you hitting with? Oh, firebolt. Okay. There's a big scorch mark across it and seems to be flying kind of like lopsided now.
Okay. Let's bring in some of this.
You do see more movement, by the way, from through the archway. So you seem to have attracted the attention of more than just one of these things.
Surprise, surprise, surprise.
Okay, so you get off the first shot, and let me rearrange this. Have we got everybody on the turn order? Or...
I've got those under my control.
Okay.
Got Valia, Kellisto, Tobias,
Excellent.
Rock, Tinder,
Lunchbox.
Lunchbox.
Then Valia gets to go first.
She's going to hold her action because there's absolutely no way she's going down the stairs.
Fair enough. Kellisto?
"30 feet, huh?" Well, I turned back into myself when I came back, so at least that's what I had in my head to do.
Yeah, no worries. While Ulfgar was shooting at them. Firebolts.
Just have to check something really quick, sorry.
No worries.
Yes. I am doing Ice Storm.
Wow. Okay.
I don't want to go down the stairs either. I'm very limited in my ranged stuff.
Going right for the source.
Yep.
Alright, so we need a dex save from that guy. Oh.
It would
So
appear.
does he take half damage then?
Yeah, half.
Okay. Just want to see as well if this is like... Okay, it's around 20-foot radius.
Yeah, it won't go. I would have centered it. I would have centered it on the guy, so it wouldn't hit anyone else.
Okay.
Unless there are invisible enemies, because we left an invisible something or other running around in
Yes.
here.
Either way, so between the combinations of damage, this guy, the lunchbox, falls to the floor, and 1 second. Its body disintegrates into dust.
Whoa.
Okay, so we might have confirmation that only affects inanimate objects.
Or dead things.
Like I said, inanimate.
Ulfgar looks at both of you and then goes,
Hey, dead things
Aye.
can be animated.
Well, I don't think of myself as an object, even if I was dead.
Okay, so any bonus actions or movement you want to take?
No.
Okay, then over to you, Ulfgar.
He's been watching to see if any more come out the doorway or if he sees any movement there. And he's just going to hold his action ready to fire another firebolt on the first visible flying lunchbox. Because he knows that there's more than one that they saw before. And he'll actually bellow loudly, "Come at me, you wee lunchbox looking fellas!" just yelling at them to get their attention to try and lure more of them into the hallway.
Okay. All right.
Sorry if I yelled actually in people's ears. I apologize. I should have just done a stage yell.
I think that was a stage. I think
Okay.
you're safe. How about Aelia?
She'll hold her action to do the same, but in this case, it would be Sacred Flame.
Okay. Tobias?
Which only goes 60 feet, though, so it would have to be pretty close, and she'll move up for that.
I'm going to mount Arokh to give Kellisto a little bit more space.
Bloop.
Okay.
And hearing Ulfgar, he is going to blow his dragon horn.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. And Arokh.
You definitely need soundboard for this.
Yeah, seriously,
I got the
that
horn
would be
now.
hilarious.
We're good.
And Arokh will hold on his action.
Right. So Lunchbox's turn. They start entering. So hang on 1 second, let me see one thing quick here. There. So this guy's gonna use everything he's got. He flies up the tunnel as fast as he can and gets there.
Nice.
And his friend is going to be directly behind him. And you see kind of some others pouring through. These guys are going to kind of move up. They're not quite sure about what's going on. So people with held actions. I don't know if this is the trigger that you were
Yup.
looking for.
So the closest one for Ulfgar. Firebolt. 24 to hit.
24 hits.
5 fire damage. And Aelia with her Sacred Flame. Does it work? I'll cast at what level? It's just a cantrip, so I don't know why it's asking that. Ignore the higher level cast? Oh no, wait, it is supposed to be 2d8 because of her level. Okay. So there you go. 7 radiant damage, but they would have to... Hold on. The spell is not working the way I thought it would. The closer target needs to make a dex save or take the damage.
So which one is that? Is it the same one?
Yeah.
Okay. Alright. Dex save. No.
15. Right. So then it does take 7 radiant.
Okay.
And I'll try and fix that spell in the meantime.
Alright. So it looks halfway hurt from that.
It's halfway there.
It's living on a prayer. Right. And that is their turn. Did anybody else have any held actions for these guys?
Valia did, but all she would probably do is just move in front. Can she just move?
I'll say sure.
You could also mount Tinder.
Oh, yeah. She could do that. Yeah, she'll do that. She'll mount Tinder.
Oh, brother.
Right.
Yeah, we are going to get Calvary in here.
And then it is Tinder's turn.
And Tinder she will be moving forward next to Arokh.
Alright.
So it gets a little bit crammed in here.
Yep. Okay, so then back up to the top round.
So she'll hold her action again. Again, she doesn't intend to go down the stairs until she figures out what will happen to her. But she does plan to be like the first line of defense if they make it up there. Assuming, of course, Tinder doesn't just take off with her on the back.
You do see that all of these lunchboxes that have bows, the bows have already disintegrated. So it is now just unequipped lunchboxes, basically.
Empty lunchboxes.
Right, Kellisto.
All right. I will go ahead and... Can I do, like, 2 spells of the same spell? I just have to, like, make sure I mark a different one off? Is that how that works?
You mean in the same turn? You can do a
Like, can I do Ice Storm again?
Yeah, you can do Ice Storm again.
Okay.
Yeah, much more effective.
Where are you going to aim it though?
It was 20-foot radius, right? So
You could aim it in the middle of the group there and probably get them all if it's a 20-foot radius.
Yep, right in the middle.
okay.
Oh boy.
Alright, so they all then need to make dex saves. So let's start at the back and I'll move my way to the right. So, oh, hang on, let me shrink this down so I can see what's going on. Dex save this guy. Okay, so he succeeds. So he takes half damage, right, when he succeeds?
Yes.
Okay. So he still takes a bunch of damage. Next guy. Oh, yes. Okay. Still takes a bunch of damage. Next guy. Fails. And takes a lot more damage. Excuse me. He's not quite down, but he's definitely damaged. And this guy here also. Oh, come on. Idiot. Okay. Bunch of damage. And then last guy up front fails, and this finishes him. So he falls to the floor and then disintegrates.
Pow.
So the guys that succeeded look like they're kind of little more than half health, and the guys that did not succeed look like they're at about quarter health. So just so you know kind of how damaged these lunchboxes look. Alright.
Okay.
Ulfgar?
Firebolt at the closest. Actually, no, he'll firebolt at the next closest. This one here.
Okay.
Where is his firebolt? Pew! Natural 20.
Yep, that will hit him. Alright, so it's this guy, right?
Oh, holy crud.
Yeah, but he's dead.
Wow.
He's so...
That's...
He's crispified, and then his charred remains disintegrate to dust.
That's 25 damage off a cantrip. Okay. That was very effective. And that's it for him.
Okay. And Aelia?
She'll Sacred Flame the closer one, and hopefully I've got this thing working properly now. Let's try it. That looks proper. Yep. So there you go.
Alright.
Dex saver, take 8 radiant.
Oh, he fails, and that finishes him.
Okay. Yeah, funny how you just get to remove the dead icons in this case. We're being very efficient. We're not leaving any corpses for the dwarves this time.
I don't think they could pick up anything in this hallway.
Yeah. Maybe. Yeah, pre-warmed lunch. Tobias.
Yeah, I'm holding my actions for now. And I'm getting prepared if any one of these lunch boxes will come close.
And Aaron?
Yeah, since everyone wiped everyone else, he's just going to the same as Tobias, and he'll be prepared to
Okay.
attack.
All right. So these dudes at the back here are going to try and.
Oh, look at that.
So this guy is. Boom. I think that's right. Hang on, let me just check. He was there. Yes, that is right. And then this guy is there. So that's their turn. A few more kind of flood into the hallway. And again, if they had bows on them, they don't anymore. So we've got some healthy ones heading your way and some not so healthy ones at the at the top of the stairs. Unfortunately, these guys that are on the stairs used all of their like action to get where they are, so they don't have any actions left to actually fight you with.
Oh no!
Oh no! So Tinder, batter up.
Smack it. 2 wing buffets as multi attack, tail slap,
Those
and
wing buffets both hit. The tail slap does not hit.
And 2 times claw.
Oh, you know what? No, the tail. Oh no, the tail slap does not hit. And both claws hit.
Yeah, assuming that will be overkill.
Yep. Yeah, so she finishes this lunchbox and it kind of clangs to the floor. And
Does it
it does. Right. Valia?
She. Trying to decide whether. I think she would go down the stairs. I don't know if she'd be able to get. I think she would just climb off of the dragon.
Okay.
Because she could just go a couple of, stairs and she would hit it with her war.
Yeah, sure.
Smash.
That hits. And it is done.
Does it disintegrate?
It does.
Yeah. Don't go any closer.
Well, the one that was just killed was right where she's standing, actually.
Oh, is her warhammer still doing okay?
Yeah, she seems to everything seems to be fine.
I think Monkey would kill me if I got rid of all her weapons. I already lost her pouch.
Wait, what?
And all they are is
So
dust
she's in
and wind.
an area that's affected by this?
I didn't say that.
Okay. It affected the last one though.
I didn't say that either.
She just said that they disintegrated. She didn't say anything about it being the cause because of where they're looking.
Okay. So one of the ones that just got killed by Tinder, did it disintegrate?
That did turn to dust.
And that was here. Yes?
It was here.
Okay.
Standing right in front of Tinder.
Okay.
So here's these things are made of metal, right?
Yeah.
And the metal that you see on the floor down here is just tarnished and corroded.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. These guys didn't tarnish or corrode. They just turned to dust.
Okay.
Like poof.
Okay.
They were just dust.
Yeah, but
In the wind.
we are more concerned about Valia's equipment.
Yeah, Valia's equipment doesn't seem to be tarnishing or
It's
turning
entirely
to dust or any
Yeah.
of the above.
it's entirely possible these guys just poof into dust when they die, and it's like their bows just happen to do with aging and going away. But we didn't. Not all of us saw that. Okay.
Okay. Anything else Valia wants to do? She's murderized that one.
Nope, she's gonna stay where she's at. She'll kind of look at her hammer and be like, look at everyone and be like, yeah, and put it in. Just kind
Okay. And how about Kellisto?
So, I am going to.
Oh boy. Is it?
Actually, I think I'm going to hold my action.
Oh, I was expecting the triple.
Triple ice.
Yeah.
I guess I could.
It's up to you.
No, I'm gonna hold my action. I want to see what happens.
All right. Ulfgar,
Pew pew.
got any more fireballs?
Yep. That's cantrip. So I'm just pewing away. Firebolt at the closest one.
That
19.
hits.
Hui. And that is 14 fire damage.
Okay. Not enough to kill it, but it does some serious damage to it.
Okay.
It's got
And
a nice
then
big scorch all over it.
Aelia is going to be next, aiming at the same one. I don't know if she can reach, but she will try. Yes, she can. All right, so Sacred Flame.
Okay. Dexterity save. Failed. And that finishes it.
Okay.
And once again, turns to dust. Alright. Tobias?
I'll be holding my ground.
With Arokh, presumably.
Correct.
Okay. So then... then it is the lunchbox's turn. I know they just disappeared from the list, but it is their turn. And these guys are going to... Hang on 1 sec. Where can they get... Oh, gosh.
Yeah, they did disappear from the list.
Yeah, it's because I moved them to the GM layer.
Gotcha.
How smart are these guys? 1 sec. And they are smart enough to see what just happened to their friends. So they're gonna move closer. Come on, a little closer. But they're gonna kind of stay down the stairs. Not that it's helped much, but they just watched their friend get turned to like metal shavings by Tinder. So okay. Then it is Tinder's turn, actually.
I just wanted to say that I really like how these are little mechanical creatures and they were using bows. That's just...
Right.
It's awesome.
they gotta have weapons too.
Mm-hmm.
I love that they're so angry in the handout. Really angry.
They look focused.
They're mad as hell. They're not gonna take it anymore.
Giving you a wink.
Okay. There will be more shedding. Okay, Tinder, she just slips down.
Okay.
And she's going to shred the heck out of this one.
Okay. Those both hit.
Oh boy.
That hits too. That does not hit. Oh, neither does that one. So the 2 wings and the tail hit.
I think because they're made of metal, they more...
So you,
Vulnerable to bludgeoning damage.
Failed
Yep.
mechanical cupid.
it does look like a failed mechanical cupid. Really angry cupid.
Who said that?
Excellent dragon. So you don't quite finish it. It looks badly damaged. It's kind of like flying lopsided. One of its wings is kind of bent a bit, which is causing this. And yeah, it's not doing good at all. But it's not dead yet. How about Valia?
How about Valia?
Now, does Tinder have anything on her? Like metal and stuff?
Okay. They are arrogant. They are basically made of like metallical pieces, but so those the lunch boxes.
They're
She's gonna
advanced
step
lunchboxes.
down one and step and see what happens.
You're determined to destroy her stuff, aren't you?
I really don't want to. I'm like,
It is kind of true though. Valia would like. I feel like seeing Tinder, like she would want to be up front as well. You know, she might get a little bit jelly that she's not up front. So she steps forward one, and nothing has happened yet. I will point out that the paintings don't start until this square. Yep, she still seems fine.
So the paintings are along this area?
Yes.
Okay.
she'll stick her foot in and see if anything starts to happen. Like stick
Toadab.
A lunchbox is going to try and punch it. No. No.
see if her boot starts to disintegrate.
So, yeah, does she have boots on? Or
Oh no, she's barefoot, isn't she?
I think she is barefoot.
Oops, I just did not mean to do that.
Well,
Oopsie. Sorry.
She'll grab something metal that she doesn't care about, like just another coin or something. She'll just kind of like stick her hand a little bit.
But doesn't she have like a handful of javelins that are just
Oh, I
made
don't
of
know. I thought she had.
of the wood?
Does she have more than one? I
she,
don't know if she does.
she has, like, typically had some junky ones, as well as, like,
Okay.
I think she's had a good one. And
She will take out one of her junky ones and like try to stab the thing without getting off.
okay.
I guess she'll throw it.
Okay.
There you go.
Yeah. So, so the javelin stabs into this guy, right? You see it kind of. I mean, it hits this. Wait, hang on. Do I have the right? Yes, I do. Hits this guy like square in the lunchbox, and get it? See, square in the
Oh
lunchbox.
gosh, that's good.
And it's kind of sticking in him, right? And as Valia, like, as you're watching it, right? First of all, it does the damage to him, so I need to record that before I get. Come on, why isn't it? There it goes. I have the hit die. There we go. Okay, so it does the damage to him, and he starts leaking a little bit of fluid. It's not blood, but there's some kind of fluid that's leaking from that. And Valia watches, and Tinder can see this as well. Actually, most people can. As the javelin, the wood of the handle of the shaft, of the javelin, you can see it immediately starts to grey and then turns like brittle and then just disintegrates to dust. And the metal head of the javelin is, you can't actually see that because it's somewhere lodged in the lunchbox's body, but there's now this hole like in the lunchbox where this javelin was, but all of the wood handle shaft thingy is now disintegrated. That was a long description. Sorry.
Well, if she had the opportunity, she'd probably step back.
Yeah, I mean, she could do that. She's not in, like, their threat area, so she could certainly do that.
Okay.
Okay. So that's what everybody sees. And then Kellisto.
I am going to turn to everyone and say, I'm gonna basically fly down the hallway. One, to see if there's any more of these characters, these guys. And two, to see if there's anything else over there. Like if I get on the balcony, if things start disintegrating. So give me a coin when I turn into an eagle.
Okay.
And she says that to Ulfgar.
All
And
right.
I turn into an eagle.
Okay. Ulfgar, are you giving?
Mm-hmm.
Putting a coin in the little claw hand of...
He'll just hold it out and let her take it.
I mean, my idea might not work. Alright, can I still move?
Yeah, but, you know, I mean, it's super convenient that you and Ulfgar are next to each other in turn order, so I'm going to say this is kind of happening simultaneously on your turn.
Okay.
So sure.
I'll use my bonus action
To
to
hand
do
a coin.
that. Yeah, there you go.
Here we go. So that's it.
Okay.
And then firebolt.
And then fireball. Okay. Who are you firebolting? Which one?
The one directly in front of him.
Okay.
Firebolt.
That hits.
Boy, he's been doing some good
Yeah, he
good
has.
shots. Not very damaging that time, but still.
Yep, still gets a bit of a scorch mark on it.
Mm-hmm.
And Aelia?
Aelia, she will do the same with her Sacred Flame. Hold on a second. It should be working now.
Oh. So it meets the DC to save. So that means with Sacred Flame there's no damage, right?
There's no damage.
Okay. One got lucky.
Don't have to worry about to hit rolls, but you don't.
Is she moving at all, or staying where she's
No,
at?
she's fine where she's at.
Okay. Tobias.
Yeah, we're definitely staying.
Charge down the steps. Come on, man.
Then, so you and Arokh staying where you're at.
Correct.
Okay. Then it is the lunchbox's turn. This one is going to... It curls up its little metal hand into a fist. And it is going to try and punch Tinder.
Lunchbox punch.
There we go.
Nope.
And this one is going to fly up to Valia and try and do the same. Nope.
Even worse idea.
Then it is Tinder's turn.
And she will finish what she started. Come on!
Maybe. Oh no! The punch was a surprise. Like, even though it didn't actually hurt like that. Actually, none of those hit. I'm sorry.
They're flappy little things.
Tinder was just so surprised at this thing trying to punch her in the face. She's like, what? Then Valia's turn. He gets to try and punch you again next round. Yay! Maybe. I mean, probably not, because somebody's going to shoot it. But...
She just used her warhammer on.
Okay. Yeah, that will finish that one.
After she laughed when it tried to punch her.
This tiny little metal fist just flies wild past her face. Okay. And Kellisto.
Alright, so is the gold coin still in my closet?
It is.
Silver.
Silver.
Of
And
course, a
nothing's
cheap
happened
bastard.
to it?
Oh, the gold coin is... Oh, silver coin, excuse me. Is
Mhm.
definitely tarnished.
Okay.
You look down at it in your clawed little foot, and it is definitely tarnished.
Oh, I'm going to fly here.
Okay.
Oh boy.
And turn back into myself.
Oh boy.
Okay. Yeah. Nothing bad seems to be happening.
Okay, I'm going to reach into my... So nothing's happened. So I'm going to unload all of my things.
Okay.
Basically, including my clothing. That's leather. Cloth I'll keep on. Like my underwear and stuff.
Okay.
And then
Not
I'm
for
going
long.
to... I'm going to reach in with and find like a hand, like a couple different coins. I think I have a few, and I'm going to step into...
Okay. So the coin. So you just have the coins in your hand,
Yep.
kind of. Right? So yeah, you're out of view of everybody else. And everything that isn't you either tarnishes or disintegrates.
Bye bye,
Yeah,
skivvies.
that's what I thought. Well,
You
I
said
was
you're a
more
wild elf,
afraid
right?
Okay,
Born
I will
free.
I will step back again. And I guess that's probably my whole turn.
I think so.
As free as they can.
Good thing you guys are far away.
So you're now standing naked on a balcony in this
Pretty much.
really weird room. Right, Ulfgar.
Pew pew. Oops. Firebolt.
Come on, don't hit. Let this guy. Oh, yes. Actually, that does not hit. Whew. This guy is gonna land a punch before he dies. I swear, this lunchbox.
I don't think he's got
Oh
me.
yeah, this one actually needs.
Last honor.
Yeah, the last lunchbox.
That's an action. All right. So then he's done. Aelia will try zapping him with her sacred flame.
All right, come on, dude. You can do it. This deck
It's
save.
It's almost dead.
Oh
No. It dies from the sacred flame. So.
Bazap.
So close to actually landing a punch. So yeah, it gets takes the radiant damage from the sacred flame, gets scorched with that, and then turns to dust.
Thus ends the last quadrone that we are aware of.
The last lunchbox.
The last lunchbox.
It's a sad story of the last lunchbox. I'm going to clear turn order because there does not appear to be any ongoing threat at this point.
So, Ulfgar calls to, or says to Tobias, since it appears Tinder is unaffected, do you think it could scratch off some of those paintings? Maybe they're having the effect.
And you exactly want to scratch them.
Well, I mean, I'd ask him to just wipe them off, but I mean, they're actually on the stone wall, right? They're not hanging tapestries or anything.
That's correct. They are painted directly on the wall.
Yeah. So, if you think you could wipe it off, then sure. But otherwise, maybe try just give it a claw and see if it'll come off.
Okay, I'm just gonna get off Arokh, and Arokh will go and try to examine those.
Mm.
Okay. Make a perception check.
Not Arcana.
Um.
Because we're dealing with magic.
Sure.
Mm.
The paintings don't seem to have any obvious magical use.
No. They're just a representation of where you're gonna lose your shit.
I mean, I lose my shit all the time, and it's not in this whole way, but you know.
And what does perception? Oh, okay, I can see shit.
I mean, they look like crappy paintings of dead things, of rotting corpses.
Mm. Sorry, I have to look up a spell.
In the meantime, I'm going to be investigating this area.
Okay.
With your nudity.
Yeah, pretty much.
There must be source of this disintegration field.
So this room that Callisto's in is a 40-foot diameter shaft, as you see. Stone balconies protrude the walls as drawn on the map. This one is 15 feet higher than the one that you're standing on. And these two thick chains rattle in the gulf between the balconies. There are there's a cloudy vortex lit by arcs of purple lightning above and below you. And there is the chain kind of goes up and wraps around this enormous metal gear. Goes down and wraps around this enormous metal gear. And then disappears kind of into the vortex. And it is like, it's hot, like the wind from these kind of vortex clouds that seems to be blowing is hot, and it smells a bit like burning oil.
Good thing I'm not wearing any clothes.
By the way, I forgot polymorph only can turn things into beasts, so I think I was just an eagle instead of
okay. So your fancy pants.
Yeah.
So I know that this is the threshold, so I'm just gonna inspect.
Gonna
Okay.
inspect.
Yeah, inspect.
So you see the thing that you see up at this end that you couldn't see from the other end is above at the very pinnacle, kind of the archway where the keystone is. It's adorned with an iron bull's skull, which is biting down on an ivory ring.
Ah. I will reach up and pull that. Or try to pull it out of the mouth, or try to move it up and down.
Okay. Make it, well, it seems a little silly considering how strong you are, but make a strength check to try and yank it out of the... Okay. Yeah, so you yank this ivory ring out of the skull's jaws, and it, within seconds of being yanked out, it disintegrates.
Okay, well, that didn't help anything. But it was in this hallway, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Strange. Didn't disintegrate until you removed it.
Yeah. I'm gonna go get some coins and throw them in.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, you chuck them in, and they stay shiny.
I shout, "Woohoo!
Did you find a way of turning it off?
Baby?
Turn it off!"
Ulfgar's always so helpful.
Just wait a little bit. So I'm gonna sit there and stare at them for a while just to make sure. I don't want to lose my scimitar.
Meanwhile, Ulfgar says to the people that are close to him, "If needs be, I can sacrifice many spells to get us across one at a time. But if she can find an off lever, I'd much prefer that."
So you're staring at the coins, and they
Yep.
are staying as shiny as the moment that you chucked them in.
Alright, I'm gonna put my clothes back on and re-equip myself.
Okay.
And then take a tentative step across this threshold.
Right, you kind of hold your breath. Please don't kill my scimitar. Please
Pretty
don't kill my
much.
scimitar. Step across and open your eyes. Look at your gear. Seems to be fine.
Alright, I'll start heading across.
Yeah, you guys see Kellisto kind of walking your way.
What did you do?
I destroyed some art.
Wait, we destroyed some art.
And more like statue art.
Oh. I don't suppose it's running on a timer or something, do you?
I don't know, but you should hurry up. Let's go down the stairs.
Let's go. As I progress, he will look to see what kind of tarnished items might be around on the ground as he runs through. If there's anything of any significant value, meaning not just a few coins, he would like to grab such an item.
So there, I would say no, there's nothing that you think is of significant value, right?
Okay.
It's all like, either missing its handle, like there's axe heads, or it looks like it's quite corroded, like some of the pieces of armor look like it's corroded to the point where you can see like holes through the metal, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I don't think you see anything of value in here.
Okay.
Aside from the coins, you think that if you took a little time and collected up all the coins, that would probably be worth something, but
Nope.
okay.
So Ulfgar's like, all right, let's go. And he'll kind of hesitate at the edge.
I think
Valia
Aelia would keep
like
her
starts
shot.
running towards the. It's like, I don't like this hall.
Okay.
Okay, move it. Move it. Move it.
Aelia would say, no time for this, Ulfgar, and she'd pick him up and toss him on her back and gallop across. Are we going down the stairs?
I don't know. That's where I was headed. You guys could change your mind as you get here, though.
Oh crap. Well,
Oh,
I
hang on,
guess
let me
we-
look at the order.
let me put
I have your tokens over there, but I want
There.
to put them in the same order. Oh god. Alright, so wait, Valia, Kellisto, Tobias, Valia, and Ulfgar with those guys. Alright, one sec. Let me.
Uh-oh.
So Valia is up front.
Oh wait, we're taking a left? I thought we were going straight to the... well, I guess that makes sense.
Hang on.
We gotta keep going down.
There was that pit with all the smoky clouds and lightning, but yeah, good point. I don't want to go down that way.
I don't want to.
There's the big
Okay.
solar system thing here.
Alright, hang on. Let me extend this a little bit because. And I just need to grab one more token. I can switch you guys to the other map.
Oh boy.
The last map! That is the wrong page. That is the right page.
What?
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 Paste. Alright. Okay, here we go. Dragging you over now.
By the way, chat said that we were extremely fortunate that those flying lunchboxes lost their primary weapons.
Does that work?
Oh, really?
It was all planned.
That's what I said.
Alright.
100% planned.
So, wow, close out
Turn
level
her.
5. Holy smokes.
Turn her aura off. There we
So, what you see before you is green smoke billowing out of a bronze cauldron in the middle of this 20-foot high vaulted hall. Barely visible through the haze are 3 rocking chairs several workbenches heaped with haberdashery, a spinning wheel, a rusty iron cage, and a rusty iron cage. And then you can see around the edge there are these galleries, right? They are 10 feet above the floor level on either side. So there are these like steps that go up 5 feet each as you go around. You can kind of make those out. Probably can't quite see the steps from where you're at, but you can certainly see the galleries that go around.
Valia stops and shouts back, "We got more gas!"
Isn't that the stuff that we had to stop up before? Is it gonna make more of them big lawn things?
Valia shrugs her shoulders. She's like, I don't know, Tobias, when?
I don't think Tobias would want to see them again.
Okay, when it is.
Is there a way to shut it off?
Valia is like, I don't even want to know what kind it is. It's like,
Just brace yourself if there's something hiding in the smoke.
Is it smoke or poison?
It's a good question.
Okay, wording wide it is.
What? Can't hear you. 10-foot range.
And I'm stepping forward.
Okay. Alright, so you step forward and the green smoke kind of gets blown out of the way immediately, right? And you can kind of now see that there appears to be somebody or some creature in the cage.
Here?
Yep.
And this is the cauldron?
That's the cauldron, yep.
Mm-hmm. Proceeding towards the cauldron.
Okay.
If anyone would like to come with me, there's the chance, because I don't know if the smoke won't close.
Valia.
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I needed.
Okay, so as you get closer to the cauldron, you see huddled kind of over here. Over here are 3 tiny figures, and they, as your wind area kind of hits them, they move out of it. They kind of like you hear one shriek a little bit and move out of it. These figures are like the size of small children. So they kind of disappear like back into the fog in this direction. And you can kind of, now you're looking for them, you can kind of make out their shape a little bit in the fog. And they just seem to be huddled together.
Children.
You do notice that next to the cauldron is the lid, actually. And in the cage is it looks like a woman. She has long brown hair in a braid. Well, part of it's in a braid. It's all kind of like straggly, like hanging down. She is like huddled, you know. She's got her knees like hugged to her chest. She is yeah. It looks like she doesn't have like any like equipment or clothing, but she does seem to be cowering, kind of huddled under a blood-stained blanket, and she's kind of like desperately pulling this blanket to her against the wind, you know.
Okay, I saw where the small child figures moved.
They move over in this direction as your wind kind of you know, pushes up to this wall. You see them kind of like they're huddled to each other. There's 3 of them, and they're huddled to each other, and they're kind of like you kind of corner them over there.
I'm drawing chatter.
You're gonna chop down fog kids?
You see
If I have to.
let me show you what you see now that you've kind of uncovered them from the there we go.
Okay.
So this is what you see.
Toy Story.
Yeah, huddled together in this corner, and they are kind of holding on to each other desperately, kind of trying not to fly away almost in the wind that you have buffeting them.
Not the younglings.
May I roll if for information if Tobias might know what they are?
You could
If he heard of them before.
you could make an intelligence check, see if you have any idea what these things are.
Intelligence.
I would like to make a suggestion to you, Kellisto, that Valia just puts the lid on the thing.
I didn't get the part there was a lid nearby.
Yeah, it's right there at her feet.
But yeah, she would totally do that.
Okay, yeah, it's a bronze lid, so it's kind of heavy, and you can pick it up, and it fits kind of neatly on top of the cauldron.
And of course triggers the chain of events that we're going to die.
So the green gas does, or the green smoke does, I mean, it stopped, right, coming from the cauldron. It was kind of billowing out of that cauldron. Oh, hang on one sec. Oh dear. She would see, probably as she's putting the lid on it, that there is like a tarry green black brew inside the cauldron. So she'll see that, then put the lid on top of it, and the gas is prevented from, you know, being expelled.
Then she would turn to the creature in the cave and be like, "So what are you then?"
The creature does not say anything. Just huddles kind of further under the blanket.
Okay, what about Tobias? He does recognize them?
I mean,
That's something about what he heard about or knew.
Tobias would think that they are some kind of constructs, but beyond that, you're not sure, like, where they came from.
Okay, since there's no more. Okay, the smoke will disperse as soon as the lid is closed.
I mean, not immediately, but it does seem to be slowly kind of, you know, dispersing.
Okay, so I'll be dropping Warding Wind as soon as the air will become clear.
Okay. So it takes about a minute for all the green smoke to dissipate. Um, while you're waiting that minute, the three constructs that you've kind of cornered here, they do try to crawl under this table here. So they're kind of huddled together, like they've got you know, got a hold of each other as much as they can, and they kind of will try and crawl under here. They're taking cover, you know. Anybody doing anything during that minute?
Valia would call out to Ulfgar and Aelia and tell them there's a person in this cage. You might want to talk to them. You know, with your little negotiating tactics. Or he didn't hear any of that.
Oh yeah, you're right. He did not.
So Valia calls out to Ulfgar and Aelia and says, "There's a person in this cage. You should come negotiate with."
Okay. And the gas is now dispersed.
Yes.
Hops down. Half pushed down by Aelia, who looks a little bit flustered by his hesitation with going forward or not. And he walks over and takes a close look at who's in the cage.
So the person in the cage is now you get closer, you can see that this is a half-elf woman. She has long, kind of brownish hair, and it's a little difficult to see all of her because she is huddled under this blanket. But the features that you do see look remarkably like Kellisto. So Tobias, as soon as you drop the warding wind spell, the three kind of constructs will come out from under the table, and they kind of start waddling towards you. And yeah, as you see, one of them is like the straw doll with rusty needles sticking into its body. Another one is a faceless child molded from clay, and then the third one is a stuffed monkey with the lower body of a unicycle. And the straw doll will kind of step forward, right, and says to you,
They speak.
"You need to run away. The Sun Sisters will be back any moment now."
I'm sorry, that's creepy as fuck.
And it's in this kind of little girl's voice.
And Ulfgar calls to Kellisto. Kellisto, I need you to come here.
Yes.
Do you have any relatives?
No, everyone died. Why?
He says, take a close look. And he casts light on another coin. They're just so handy. He casts light on coin right in and holds it down so you can both get a good look at her. So she look familiar.
She looks like a scrawnier version of you.
Oh. Are you the shadow?
Shadow.
Remember the shadow up above?
What? What are you talking about?
In a couple of floors up above, we created a shadow of myself. Well, first you and then me.
Oh crap! Does that mean there's one of me around?
The person in the cage says, "I remember the shadow," in a very kind of like a voice that sounds very much like yours, but very kind of meek. And
so, did you create the shadow?
No.
Why are you in this cage?
I don't know how I got here.
How long have you been here?
I don't know.
I'm sorry, I can't let you out until I understand what you are.
Ulfgar pulls out a tankard of what once had Tej in it. It is now empty. And his water skin, and says, "Would you like something to drink?" And he holds it up to the cage. See which one she goes for.
She says, I prefer the Tej, but I think you've run out.
And Ulfgar's gonna insight check this because to see if she's real, or magicked or something of that nature from what he's been testing so far. Because that is just creepy. That's as creepy as these little doll things. Where is insight? Hui.
So what is it that you're trying to kind of ascertain with this?
If it's real.
Yes, it's real.
Okay, if it's not real, or if it is real, if it's a construct, if it's actually another Kellisto, I guess, and if it intends us any harm, why? I guess
That doesn't seem to intend you any harm.
Right.
Like, the insight is really like.
Yeah, I guess that determined what I was looking for first, and that was
Okay.
if it's some kind of magical spell. Then I'm just being illusioned or something, but. So he puts away the tankard and the water skin and says, "I don't know what's going on here. That seems very dark to me, though."
Well, I assume I heard the doll talk, right? So I'm gonna say, why don't we just go ask?
So the other thing that you notice, now that kind of some of the smoke has gone away, is that there's a big green kind of door at the end here. It's about 10 foot wide. It's made of green stone, and its surface is carved with grinning goblin skeletons. A belt of smooth stone spans the door at a height of 4 feet and is set with 5 gold symbols in a row. A triangle, a square, a pentagon, a hexagon, and an octagon. Each symbol is engraved on a recessed circular seal. And actually, I have a handout of this to help you envision the door that you're seeing now that the smoke is out the way and you're a bit closer. So, Tobias, what are you up to over here with
Skull Kids?
Yeah, I'm not definitely trust this caged woman. She was in prison for a reason.
So Straw Bundle here will kind of take a step forward and kind of reaches out with her little straw hand to you, Tobias, and kind of puts her little straw hand in your hand as if taking your hand like a small child would, and says to you, "They've been torturing her." And she's, with her other little straw arm, she's pointing at the woman in the cage.
Yeah, I'm not buying it.
Kellisto, have you been getting tortured? He's talking to the, Kellisto outside the cage.
Not that I'm aware of.
This is some spooky witch stuff. What's with them little kids things? Well, he's probably like trying not to.
Do you let Straw Bundle take your hand, Tobias?
No.
Straw bundle.
Okay.
I'm gonna let her.
She kind of hangs her head a little bit. Her little straw braids like flop down.
Jeez.
So there is a padlock on the cage, by the way. Sorry.
Yeah, I start trying to monkey with it, trying to see if I can open.
Okay.
Yeah, we can also drag the cage upstairs. He's out of character.
Aelia enters the room and sees the strange things and stuff, and she uses Eyes of the Grave to detect if there are any undead among them.
Okay. Oh, what's the whatchamacallit on that?
She has to be able to see it.
What's the rating? Oh, okay. No, you do not detect any undead.
Okay. She says, I don't see any undead in this room, so take comfort in that much at least. And she kind of says, what are these?
And what do you think? Releasing this woman will be a great idea? Or trusting those puppets?
Is it obvious if the caged Callisto were cleaned up that we could tell them apart still?
Yes. The caged Kellisto looks much scrawnier.
Okay.
There is like a heavy padlock on the gate at the end of the cage.
How did you come to get here? He's talking to the girl in the cage.
I don't know.
What do you last remember?
I remember being in the cage, and I remember fighting some square metal creatures that were flying.
But you were in the cage. Ulfgar looks at Callisto and says, I think that this girl is being used as some kind of spy, a divination, through you.
So she has my memories?
It would seem so.
Well, that's not good.
No. Even if
Still
she's not flesh and blood, leaving her here, I think whoever put her here would still have those abilities.
Yeah, we should take her with us.
Does anybody have thieves' tools in the party?
Let me check Belly.
No, I don't. Let me check Aelia.
No.
Do you really want to release her?
What's that?
Do you want to set her loose?
Yes.
Yes.
So the stuffed monkey on the unicycle kind of comes over. There's this like slight squeak of his wheel as he comes over.
Squeak.
And while you're kind of like monkeying with the padlock, he reaches one of his hands through and kind of pets the hair of the woman in the cage.
Ulfgar says, what? How did any of you little critters get here? What? Who set up this cauldron? He's just talking among the little critters at this point.
So the straw bundle will kind of come over, stand here, and this little clay guy will come stand next to you as well. And the little clay guy kind of like takes his little hands and molds a mouth onto his face
Gosh.
and says, "The Sown Sisters. They will be
Who?
back soon. The Sown Sisters.
Who are the Sown Sisters?
They are 3 night hags, but I cannot say their name.
Okay.
That might summon them.
How did you get here?
They made us. We were made from the souls of children.
So why are you helping us?
Because we want to be free. They keep us here.
For what purpose?
As I don't know.
Right. Have they done further harm to you since taking these forms?
Sometimes they are cruel to us. And Straw Bundle at that point will kind of like walk over to this little lopsided walk that she does, and she walks over to the little clay guy and kind of like hugs him with her little straw arms.
This is really creepy. It's scary and creepy at the same time. It's like, are these part of the trap? Is she a trap? Everything so far has been a trap. Ulfgar says aloud to the rest of the group, just, I'll have to admit, this is a sorry situation, but every ounce of my being tells me we've found yet another trap. And he says, but I can't ignore people needing help either. Children of the fog. What was that fog that was in here?
It's from their brew. I don't know what they're making.
And were there crates or things like that in here? You said there were rocking chairs.
Yeah, there are 3 rocking chairs, and there are tables, like work tables.
Okay.
Straw Bundle will say, I think the brew is for nursing the creature on the other side of that. And she points towards the big door.
What's the creature on the other side of that?
Yeah.
I don't know what it is, but they care for it very much.
I look at Ulfgar. I'm like, sounds like something we should kill.
Right.
Actually, Valia would probably say that.
I think for the first time, Ulfgar notices the door and then says, huh. Then he reaches into his pack and pulls out one of the skeleton keys. I'll say he grabbed the square one, and he just walks up to it and he holds it close to it to see if it would fit, like it looks like it would fit.
Yes, it looks like it would fit.
He says, I think I've got the keys for this door, but I don't have the key for that cage. Aelia says, let's look around, maybe it's just in this room. And the 2 of them at least would set themselves on looking through the room to see if there's any key for the cage, for the padlock in the cage. Ulfgar says, I can set her free, but I fear if I shout really loudly it will draw further attention from the Sown Sisters?
Sown Sisters.
Yes, them.
They stitched our souls to these forms.
Okay. Those are doors, or?
Arokh and Tinder will see that that those are 5 regular looking doors.
Gotcha. Yes. So
Arokh's kinda going to take a peek.
Okay, so he's opening that door. So he sees
As stealthy as he can, as possibly he can.
Make a stealth check then, please. Thank you. So let's see. The corridor kind of proceeds at this weird, funky angle, right? And you see kind of out in this direction, a glass cylinder near the back wall of the room is filled with light. So that's kind of what you see.
It looks like leather.
Yeah, it does kind of look like in the bottom. That's like in a metal plate on the floor. In the bottom of the cylinder, there is a big ass lever, big ass iron lever.
Okay, what's behind door number 2?
Okay. So hang on
Do
one
you need
second.
another stuff check?
No, we can just carry that one over. Hang on.
Okay then.
Okay, so so you see like this, right? Let me read the description to you. The delicious aroma of spiced meats greets Aaron. At the end of a 20-foot long corridor, the room opens up and you can see a red tapestry covering the back wall. You also see a table with a whole bunch of food on it. There's frothy beer in flagons and foods and all kinds of good stuff. A gaunt man in a dusty black suit is quietly arranging items on something to the side here. Taking notice of Arokh opening the door, without a word, he just beckons Arokh.
That's not creepy.
Okay, Arokh will stop here and will stare him down.
Okay.
How about Tinder?
Okay. So that room, just opening all the doors at once. Nothing could possibly go wrong.
Does she have to make another stuff check?
If
Or
you want to be quiet, then sure.
Yeah, she want to be quiet.
Okay. God, why do they have to make these corridors like at an
Oh
angle?
damn it!
Oh, it's not quiet. So there's this corridor going up at an angle, and she can see kind of like part of the room, like over here, like this kind of. And she sees flying sheets of parchment. Looks like they've got writing on them, and they flutter around. They're like,
Okay, she will be kind of bracing herself.
Okay. Yeah, there doesn't seem to be like any kind of wind coming down the corridor, but it looks like these sheets are just like flying around. Like she keeps seeing them fly horizontally kind of past her.
Just to be clear, Tobias will link senses in between those two while he does nothing.
Okay, sure.
And just snaps back for a moment, and he's saying to the party, we got a company. And he points on the Arokh. There's a man.
Quick question. While that was happening,
Yeah.
was a key found by Ulfgar or Valia? Or Aelia?
Make an investigation. Oh, I see.
They
Sorry.
both did.
Okay.
They both did the same.
You're cutting off.
Sorry.
For me.
I was talking a bit quietly. My apologies.
So you do not find a key.
Okay. Ulfgar draws his blade. Aelia already has her spear out. And Ulfgar says, "That's strange. I guess it's not one of the Sohn sisters. Is it another victim?"
No, he looks like the resident of this place.
That can't be good. Is he coming now?
Okay. While Arokh just going for a standoff with this gentleman, does he doing anything shady?
No, he's just he stands there and he's looking at Arokh, and then periodically he's just going like this, beckoning Arokh to come in.
Not buying it. I'll just send back this toothy grin.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, he doesn't react at all. He just kind of.
Right. Well, Ulfgar says before we open that big door, I suppose we should probably inspect the others. If we find these sisters, we should all be together.
Yeah,
Try
Valia goes up to one of the other.
and I think that they'll likely have the key to get Callisto out.
Folisto.
Folisto. Yes.
So Valia's opening that door.
Yeah.
That door right there. So she opens the door and this the ceiling of this plaster walled room is 15 feet high. You see a wooden lectern that Valia notices is bolted to the floor and has a leatherback tome resting atop of it. Set into the wall behind the lectern are 8 human skulls, arranged so that they appear to be falling and screaming. It's a fun room.
She'll go into the room.
Okay. It's a pretty simple room like this.
And she will inspect the...
Sorry, Oh, she's looking at the book?
Yeah, sorry. She'll look at the book.
Ulfgar says, well, so much for sticking together. She just opens the door. Okay.
It's the last door. Oh, no, it's not the last door. Oh, sorry. So the book does not have very many pages in it. It only has 8 pages. And it contains each page kind of contains one line, has one line written on it, but it's written in a language that I don't think Valia speaks.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you cut out there. I assume a language she doesn't know.
Yeah, sorry, a language that I don't... Well, let me look, hang on. Double check. I don't think she speaks this.
Those are the ones she speaks.
Oh, thank you. That's super helpful. No, she does not speak this language.
She will then leave the room.
Okay.
And she would shout to Ulfgar that there's a book. Hey, Ulfgar, there's a book in here. I can't understand the language.
That's great. There's a man right up here. And he just points to the balcony above him in general.
Okay.
And he says, Folisto, we're going to see about getting you out, but we're going to try and do it a little quieter than we usually try to be. Maybe we'll be back for you, and you little ones, you should probably be off and hiding. We've shut off the effects in the corridor, so if you want to head out that way, you can go up the stairs.
Where would we go? Straw Bundle says to you.
You can hide among the rubble for now, and perhaps we'll be back to catch you and see if we can help you be released once we've dealt with the problem. Either way, it's probably best that the sisters don't get their hands on you in the meantime.
So the stuffed monkey tries to speak and just kind of coughs as if on the stuffing. But the straw bundle says, I think they'd be more angry if we left.
All right. What else is in the room besides rocking chairs and a cage and a cauldron?
There are work tables covered in haberdashery.
Okay. Ulfgar would say, "Well then, here," and he grabs a handful of the haberdashery, throws it on the floor, back in the corner over here, kind of.
Okay.
Says, "Hide back in there, and just if they come and find you, let them know that you just hid while we passed through and you weren't seen. Maybe you won't get into trouble."
Okay. Yeah, the little clay guy will kind of head over there and starts like kind of picking up the haberdashery and like, you know, he sits down and starts putting some of it like on his head and whatnot. Straw bundle will go over there as well. And the monkey seems kind of reluctant to leave Folisto.
Off with you now. Go on. Don't want you getting in trouble too.
Okay, he kind of reaches through once more and pets her hair, and then squeaky wheels his way across here to kind of hide with his cohorts.
Ulfgar looks at real Callisto to see how she's holding up.
She just looks back at him.
I mean, he looks away and says, "Well, let's go check out these doors up here." And he just kind of gives a thumb up in this direction. Let's all head up there and see what we can figure out. If we can find these sisters and
She'll
end
follow.
whatever they're doing, I think we'll be all be better off.
Valia says to you as you start moving, she's like, "You should look at the book and we can open up the other."
All right. Tobias, you might want to have Arokh just hold that door for the time being.
As you're kind of as you're leaving Ulfgar, the little clay guy runs up to you and gives you it's a little clay hang on one sec, let me like see if there's something specific. It's a little clay heart. Kind of like holds it up for you to take, Ulfgar.
He'll mage hand take it.
Okay. And then he runs back over to the corner.
He says, "What's this for?"
He says,
Aww.
the little clay guy says, "Thank you for being my friend."
Gosh.
I think you have kids now, Ulfgar.
He really inspects this heart really close right now. He wants to find out if there's some kind of evilness about taking this from this thing, if this is going to bind him to the little clay doll or something crazy like that.
How you just kind of looking it over, or how are you inspecting it?
He's using his mage hand to inspect it as closely as he can without touching.
Okay. Yeah, you kind of turn it, in the air a little bit, and it looks very much its little heart shape. It's about the size of like an old silver dollar, just a big coin kind of thing. And yeah, it's
Mage
made of clay.
Mage hands it into his pocket.
Okay.
And he
Do you think you are hungry or thirsty?
Me?
Yeah. Any chance that Ulfgar was hungry or thirsty?
I don't think so, because they rested, so they probably would have eaten
Okay.
the last scraps of their bat food. I mean, he probably would have been hungry for better food, but so I guess I'll head up into the room.
Okay. All right. Yep, you see the same thing. Let me scroll to it so I can give you the description again. It's 15 feet high plaster walled room. A leather-backed tome rests open atop a wooden lectern which is bolted to the floor. Set into the wall behind the lectern are 8 human skulls arranged so that they appear to be falling and screaming.
That's in the floor or the wall, or?
That's in the wall behind the lectern, so here.
Nice, okay. And this is the Necronomicon? Is that what you're saying? I'm supposed to read from the book?
Oh,
Barada.
Yeah, that's what I was just gonna... Sorry.
Rorax got the Hermos Moras books.
So you look at the book, and it is 8 pages long with 1 line on each page, written in a language I don't think you don't speak.
Ulfgar asked Kellisto if she speaks the languages.
That was...
I look at it. She speaks Common, Elven, and Sylvan.
Nope.
All right. And then this requires him to touch the book is the problem, and why he's always hesitant to do this. He casts Comprehend Languages, says Yaz Lanir, and then excuse me, he just kind of like sprinkles a bit of soot and salt on it and lays his hands on the book and starts tracing the words, to read them each page.
Okay.
First, just in his head.
All right.
He doesn't want to start incanting anything by accident.
So you do realize that the language is infernal. When you cast that, well done, no, we get.
It's been the language we have had the most trouble with.
Yeah. So when you approach the lectern, the pages that are in front of you, the page on the left says, "See the lever clear as day." Hang on, I'll put this. I can just.
Okay.
Oop.
Okay.
And the page on the right says, "Spin, spin, iron spider."
Okay.
So those are like the middle 2 pages.
He'll turn back to the first page and start reading from there.
Okay.
But he will also pull out an ink pen. Let's see. He's got chest map case, a bottle of ink, and a sheet of paper, and he'll actually write it out in common so that it can be stored for the group to read later.
Okay. So, so you're starting at page 1 and reading the entire thing.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So I'm going to paste this in here.
Thank you.
So I'm going to read it out loud just for the,
Ambiance.
So backwards, 8 to 1. Speak the rhyme until it's done. Keep the spider locked away. See the lever clear as day. Spin, spin, iron spider. Turn their flesh and bones to cider. Speak the rhyme and meet your fate. Forward, 1 to 8.
And Ulfgar says, "Well, if that isn't cryptic, I don't know what is."
And as you say this, you hear like so wait, hang on, you and Kellisto are in there. You hear kind of a whirring sound, and your feet start leaving the floor, and you seem to be being pulled towards the ceiling.
I am?
Both of you are.
What's on the ceiling?
The ceiling appears to be smooth cut stone.
So we're being lifted off the ground?
Yep.
So okay. Ulfgar would probably yell, "Help!"
It's actually like you're falling upwards.
Help!
And so you have this kind of, you both have an action to do something before.
Ulfgar reaches for Kellisto. Calling help.
So we're being pulled up.
You're like falling upwards.
Oh.
Falling upwards.
Can I grab onto the table where the book is bolted to?
Yep, you can.
That's what I will do.
So make a dex saving throw, please, to try and grab it before you fall to the ceiling. Oh yeah, okay, you totally nailed that. So you grab hold of the lectern and you're kind of like, your whole body like rotates and your feet are now like dangling upwards. It's as if like, as if gravity has been reversed, right? Ulfgar, you're trying to grab Kellisto?
I am.
Okay, could you also make a dexterity saving throw, please?
I will do my best.
Okay. Okay, so you have now, you kind of like slipped your grasp slipped a little bit at first, but you were able to grab onto like her boots or something like that. So you're a bit further towards the ceiling than Kellisto was.
Right. So here's a question. He had the paper in his hand. I'm assuming with him grabbing for Kellisto, that's probably why he struggled so much. So he's trying to grab onto her and still hang onto the paper. Is everything about them seeming like it's gone upside down, like gravity has reversed?
Yes.
So the ink bottle went up with the quill.
Yeah, so wait, where did you have the ink bottle? Was it just on the lectern?
Yeah, probably.
Okay, so the ink bottle, you see it, well, you might not, I don't know if you'll see it, but it smashes into the ceiling and the ceiling and the ink bottle break at the same time. And a chunk of the plaster falls away and you can see kind of through this opening what looks like a giant fan spinning. And the ink actually hits the ceiling as well. It's like gravity has been completely reversed, right? So the quill hits the ceiling, the ink hits the ceiling, like.
Okay. Right.
Okay, I've heard the screams and.
Did you guys say anything? Or?
Well, Ulfgar yelled help.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Right. Yep.
And he tries to jam the paper in some pocket on his person somewhere so that it stays there, so that he can then reinforce grabbing onto Kellisto for the moment.
Yeah, so Tobias, like when you get to the door, you see this, like, it's almost comical, right? Like Kellisto is holding onto the lectern, Ulfgar is holding onto her boots. Like Ulfgar's feet are pretty close to the ceiling, and there is a whirring noise coming from the ceiling. And you can see through a small opening that is surrounded by a splash of ink, what looks like a giant metal fan spinning.
Yay.
What have you done?
Help!
Ulfgar, repeat it, and maybe it'll go backwards.
It's in my pocket. I'm a bit busy with grabbing on right now. It says something about spin iron spider, and I'm guessing that's what that is up there. Yeah, and he's looking up at her. Are you like just like staring back at him expectantly?
Yeah, pretty much.
He's like, you really want me to whip that out right now?
Okay, but what have you done?
He begrudgingly tries to take it out without losing his grip as best he can.
Make another dex check.
Yeah, I was afraid of that.
Yeah, you're fine.
He's a bit more stable this time.
Yeah,
Less a surprise.
Prepare yourself. You like hook your arm around both Callisto's feet and.
He pulls out the paper and he's like grabbing it with a death grip, like he's in like some kind of torrential like hurricane or something, but it's just, you know, reverse gravity, but he doesn't. He's just like, "Mrr." And what was it that you had asked him to do?
Say it again.
You want me to read this thing? It says
You
backward.
set it up.
It says backward 8 to 1. Speak the rhyme until it's done. Keep the spider locked away. See the lever clear as day. Spin, spin, iron spider, turn their flesh and bones to cider. Speak the rhyme and meet your fate. Forward, 1 to 8.
Nothing happens. So I look around for a lever.
Try it backwards.
Ulfgar says, are there any levers out there? He says, forward. I'll read it backwards then, because it says something about backwards. Forward, 1 to 8, and he reads the whole thing backwards.
Okay.
But he reads it like forward, 1 to 8. Speak the rhyme and meet your fate. You know,
Okay.
so he just reads the reverse order pages, but he still reads them forward.
Okay. So a small section of wood on one of the lectern's legs pops open.
Does something fall out? Is he supposed to try and grab it?
No, I'll try and hold on and grab it.
There is nothing falls out, right? It is when you kind of try to have a look, Callisto, you see that there is a small brass lever inside.
I will try to pull said lever. Do I have to do any kind of check?
Nope. You can pull the lever and pull the lever, Kronk. So the nothing happens in the room actually.
No.
But Aelia would notice. So Aelia's coming over.
Mm-hmm.
She would notice that one of the compartments. Hang on, let me look at excuse me. On the door down here, right? As she's kind of coming up to see what's going on, she notices that the octagonal keyhole or the octagonal seal on the door has slid open, like the plate there has like slid aside and reveals an octagonal keyhole behind it.
Oh wait, so these weren't keyholes already? These were just symbols on the door before.
I mean, you saw the picture, right?
Yeah, but I said Ulfgar took one of the keys up to it, seeing if it would fit without actually fitting it. I thought that it already did.
Yeah,
So-
I mean, you were just... sorry, my bad. I thought you were, like, comparing the size. And yeah, the size, but there isn't, like, like, if you look at
Okay.
it, they're just, like...
So the size is right, but they're actually closed
They're
now.
closed. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
There is nowhere to kind of slot a key in, except for now on the octagonal one, which has now... The little door on the seal has slid open and reveals a keyhole behind it.
She takes note of it and continues on up to see the shenanigans.
Okay.
Ulfgar says, did you find the way to turn it off? He's talking to you, Callisto.
Oh, I tried pulling the lever, but nothing happened. We're still going. We're still dying. Does anybody have a rope? Throw us a rope.
Aelia has rope. She throws you some rope. Says, Tobias, hold on. Grab this end too. Tosses the rope in the room. Does it just instantly go?
Yeah, it goes whoop up to the ceiling, and you toss it. But Callisto, make a dex check to try and catch it.
Can't Ulfgar just mage hand it?
You could, but actually Callisto caught it. So
Don't need to when you've got a dexterous druid on your team.
So yeah, you catch. So Callisto, you kind of let go of the lectern with one hand to catch the rope as it kind of Aelia's kind of tossing it out to you.
I will tell them to pull us out and
Okay.
hold on to it.
So, Tobias, what are you and Vallen? What's Aelia doing?
Aelia would say, tie it around the railing to make sure that if it starts to slide, we've got something to pull against.
Copy that.
And then she starts pulling against the railing, you know. To
So,
try.
at what point, Callisto, are you letting go of the lectern?
When the rope is taut.
Okay. I was like, oh. Yeah, so this will work, right? That you guys have got the rope looped around the railing to give the tension needed, and you know, against the frame of the door, it's Ulfgar, almost you feel like you might lose your feet, but it's taut enough, and then you guys can start reeling them in to kind of pull pull them through the doorway.
I have to say, just to ensure that there was no quick and sudden drop into the fan blades, Ulfgar would have cast Featherfall on the two of them just to make sure that they slowed.
Okay.
Him especially being closer.
Sure.
Even though I know you said it already worked, he still would have done that.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it. Yeah, so you're able to kind of make it out of the room. Do you see that the pages of the book are all kind of like facing upwards as if the book was being held upside down, but the cover of the book itself is not. It's still stationary on top of the lectern.
Right, which it's all like nailed down and stuff. Haha. So upon getting out there, Ulfgar closes the door.
Okay.
He says that was not fun.
So close.
Yes, it was. We almost got turned into cider.
I thought you were afraid of water.
Well, I don't like books very much now either. And Aelia says, well, now that that's done, I noticed that one of the key fittings, it actually has slid aside. Oops, I should pull Ulfgar.
5 rooms, 5 keys. Or I should say 5 doors, 5 keys.
Oh, yeah. Oh. 6 doors.
Oh.
And which one of these has the Soon sisters?
No, there is 5 doors.
There's a big green
5
one.
doors, not counting the big green one. So should we go to the next one and see who's going to survive that one?
Aye, why not? He looks very ecstatic.
I start to head towards Tinder since she's close.
Alright. Put this over here.
Okay. Yeah, you can kind of see over Tinder's shoulder. There is a room up ahead that has pages flying around, pieces of paper flying around as if they're caught in some kind of tornado, like a little tornado in there.
Wind. Let somebody else do this one.
Tobias, you're good with wind. You're like one of those windemancers, aren't you? I'm curious what it is you're doing right now besides jumping around the room.
No, because I've discovered that I'm able to move multiple tokens at once.
Tobias, what are you doing? Like, fly around the room.
I'm leaving.
Bye.
I'm done. Okay, I'm stepping right in.
Okay. You see.
What tire of them to me? just to be sure.
Just in case there's a giant fan in the ceiling. You see a bunch of paper flying around.
So, Aelia still maintains her grip on the rope in the back there, and you have the other end.
Yeah, I'm tying it on top of my belt.
Just say pull, and that's what we'll do.
Yeah, unless something will pull you in. Okay, here I
Well,
go.
in that case, I'll let go.
Yeah, I'm not sure what to expect. I'm sneaky.
Alright, so you see like this. Right? So it's another. Let me read the description. So this room is filled with flying sheets of parchment, with writing visible on the pages as they flutter by. A metal plate is bolted into the far wall with a ghostly lever set into it.
Mm-hmm. I'll try to catch one of the parchments.
Okay. Roll a dex check, please.
Dex check. My dex is garbage.
Oh no, you do catch one.
Nabbed.
And what are words written on it?
So they're written in arcane, actually.
I
this
prepared
appears to
explosive
be-
runes today.
This appears to be a. This looks like a spell to you. Hang on 1 second, and I will.
Do I recognize what kind of spell?
It's a 3rd level spell.
Okay. Okay, you have my curiosity, now you have my attention.
1 moment, caller, and I will. Oh, come on, where? Alright, hang on 1 sec. Let me go look. You believe this is the blink spell.
Mm.
And so the wind in here, it doesn't seem like it would do you damage, but you would get like slapped with bits of paper quite a bit.
Okay.
It's paper, right? It's like
Paper cut.
I'm going to try to catch 4 more.
4 more. Okay.
Yeah.
Right. 4 more dex rolls, please.
What? Free
Chat-
spells.
Chat's suggesting that the trap in this room is that you're going to get a whole lot of paper cuts and then be submerged in lemon juice.
Death by 1,000 paper cuts.
I'm just hoping that I won't be killed by my own greed for spells. Okay, so 4 more. 2, 3, and 4.
Those
rolls suck. No offense.
Oh, so you're able to catch 2
My
more.
my decks suck.
You're able to catch 2 more. One of them you think is the spell Bigby's Hand. And the other one you believe is the spell is a Dispel Magic spell.
Oh, neat. Okay.
We're gonna be here all day. He's gonna assemble this big old book of magic spells.
Unfortunately, I'm not a wizard, so I won't be able to memorize it.
Can you cast it like a scroll, though?
Scroll, blink, scroll. What was hand? What hand? Gilby's hand?
Bigby's?
Could you write it down?
Mm-hmm.
Big Bliss hand. Scroll his hand, and last one was scroll anti-magic.
Dispel magic.
Dispel magic. Okay, I try to walk into the room.
Okay. Yeah, you just get like slapped by bits of paper. Like you have to kind of put your arm up to be able to see where you're going and stop them from hitting you in the face a bit. And but yeah, you can walk into the room and.
I'm very hesitant to pull this lever.
Fireball.
Oof. No more spells.
Actually, I'm very tempted to burn all the scrolls.
If you want to, I mean, continue to get the last two, you can just keep making dexterity checks.
Yeah, we will be there all night. Yeah,
You can already hear Valia's claws tapping on
Are you done?
What y'all got in this room?
Well, let me think. Hang on. I'm afraid either the pulling the lever will set off all the scrolls in the room.
That would be amazing. Let's do that.
Yeah, who needs wild magic?
There's no view switch.
We can just go down the list. Anime dead, bestow curse, blink, catnap, clairvoyance, counterspell, dispel. That would be amazing.
I'm just staring at this level. Do any of these scrolls looks like eye-catching, is different from the others, or they are just all the same?
Make a perception check.
My rolls are garbage. It's a trash. Perception. Yeah, like that. It was trash.
Yeah, I mean, you see, like, one of them you think you saw had extra writing on it, but not really sure. And then there's so many bits flying around that you immediately lost track of it.
I tried to hang on. As I entered the room, the wind. You said the wind wasn't very strong, right?
Right. It's
So,
not
so
doing you any
perhaps
damage, or doesn't really.
okay. So yeah, but my torch is still lit, right?
Your torch? You have a torch in there with you?
Yeah.
Okay, that would probably be like blown out. I thought Valia was always the person carrying the torch, I guess.
Yeah, I'm carrying the torch since we entered the third floor of this dome. Okay, I'm drying chatter out, and I'm going to use green flame blade to torch some of the scrolls out of the way to see if they can burn.
Is that like what?
That's a cantrip that requires a strike.
I'm just trying to see if it's like magic flame or actual flame. Hang on one sec. Let me look.
It's green flame.
It does say fire damage.
Green
Okay.
flame.
So yeah, so you could like swing the sword kind of wildly in the air. And I mean, basically you could just hold the sword up, right? And
yeah, pretty much.
and the piece of paper fairly surely is going to hit it, right? So you do that. Well, are you doing that? I guess.
Yeah, I'm doing that.
Okay. So immediately after doing that, the dust kind of in the room starts to gather together, and first of all, the paper like does burn, but seems to do so in a way that doesn't set like everything on fire. So you do burn one page, and then the paper, the dust in the room seems to kind of coalesce, like come together, and looks like this.
Neat.
Oh, and I just closed the wrong thing. And then you notice that is happening. Oh, hang on. In multiple places around you.
This can only end well.
Okay.
Oops. Sorry.
Don't think that I tied the rope to my back.
And I think actually we should stop there. I know.
Another
So
cliffhanger.
Yeah, sure.
So many handouts going on.
Yeah, sorry,
Oh
all the
God.
handouts.
No, it's cool.
So we'll stop there. So
you know you're getting close
this
to the
guy,
end.
yeah, this guy showed up first, and then his three friends seemed to appear directly after, and he'll kind of like look at you with these beady, glowing eyes, and yeah, then
Hey, I can use the blink spell.
reaches up like with one of his clawed hands and looks like he's gonna slash at you with it.
Okay.
All right,
Well.
we'll stop there. Sorry.
Thanks everybody for tuning in for another adventure in Tomb of Annihilation. I feel we are actually drawing close to some kind of end, whether it be a good one or a bad one. Maybe you'll see next time. So tune in then. Till then, folks, we'll see you. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.